Hi, you might have been wondering where I've been. And that, well, hello horse. And that makes total sense because hi. Can I help you? Yeah, okay, bye. And that makes total sense because I haven't uploaded a new episode in a while, and that's partly because of life things happening. I bought a house. But also something pretty devastating to the Let's Play 1.20 series. Because, silly old me, I lost a save file. I lost the save file for this Let's Play world. And I'm absolutely devastated by that. As you can see, I'm currently in a new world of the same seed because thankfully a lot of y'all asked for the seed, so I still had that somewhere. But the original world is gone. And not only that one, because I also lost my 2-year-old hardcore world, which is so sad. And I think you can understand that didn't have me very motivated to do anything here, and it just had me demotivated for Minecraft in general. But I'm here. And what's the plan? I don't want to end this series. And I hope you guys aren't done with this series either. So, what my plan is, I didn't want to just act like nothing happened and rebuild the world sneakily and pretend that it was all okay and we're just continuing the series as normal. So, I'm going to be fully transparent with y'all. As you can see, there's nothing in this world yet. I'm going to try my best. That's what we're going to do in this episode, to rebuild what we had. So yes, I'm going to copy my world, which is, I know, it's not great. It's not as you can expect a good Let's Play to be. But sometimes things just don't work out the way you want to, and I hope you guys will all forgive me for that. So, without further ado, let's get back into it. Let's rock and roll. The seed is still beautiful as ever, so I can't wait to be playing on this seed again. Nothing screams a new hardcore world like punching some sheep and, of course, punching some trees. Time to get a crafting table going so we can really start rebuilding this world. We're starting off with just a wooden pickaxe, and then we will make the rest of the tools out of stone, which is not something I always do. I don't mind starting with wooden tools first, but since we're doing this a little bit faster, I figured let's hurry up a bit. I made sure to get enough stone so that we could make all of our stone tools, and picking up some coal along the way is never a waste of time. And after that, it was time to find the place where we settled down with our base last time. Thankfully, this place was super easy to find because it was so close to spawn, and as soon as I recognized that rune portal and the forest fire going on behind it, I knew that I was in the right spot. I ran in to stop the forest fire, but I think most of the damage had already been done. I didn't remember what was in the chest at the portal, so I figured I'd check it out, and it wasn't too exciting, but at least I got a chest plate and a pickaxe, so we might as well use those. The sun was already setting, so it was time for our first night. I made a quick bed, and off to sleep we went. I apparently got some iron somewhere. Honestly, I don't remember where I got it, but I figured it was not time to smelt the iron, but the sheep. Okay, my bad. I had my eyes set on some other iron though, so I went down into the big hole and I got myself some iron there. And then I guess I had enough, so I actually started melting the iron, thank goodness. And I crafted a cheeky little ingot from the nuggets that we got at the portal. And in the meantime, I decided to gather some wood. I figured it would be smart to make a shield as we're almost going into the mine, and I do like to be a bit safe. And I also really needed a chest to hide all of the mess I've gotten so far. It was time to get started on the mine, and I tried to put it in the same place as it was in the original series, but honestly this is going to be a theme for the entire rebuild situation. I will try my best, I will look at some footage, but not everything will be the same. So I hope that you all can forgive me for that, and that we can just continue this Let's Play in a nice way. While mining down, I did stumble upon this little cave, and I decided I might as well check it out. I don't remember if I did last time, but we will do this time for sure, so let's see what's up. I grabbed a lot of coal and I heard a lot of mob sounds, but other than that, nothing much was going on, so I decided to dig further down. I ran into this cave that I did actually remember from last time because there was loads of iron in it, so I knew that I had to go down and grab all of that sweet, sweet iron. I did run into some not so friendly creatures, but I didn't let that stop me in my quest to get iron. And after this exciting adventure, it was time to do some more boring stuff. I continued to mine and I placed a lot of stairs, but I won't bore you with that any longer. And I fought some certainly not boring creatures along the way. I just want to talk with whoever thought it was a good idea to put these little into the cave. But of course, they couldn't handle my tremendous powers, so they're all gone. And after a lot of mining and a lot of placing stairs, I made it. I made it to Y15, which was my goal. I gathered so much iron just while making the mine that I was certain I could make a full set of armor out of this. And look at me. Aren't I looking good? I think I'm looking pretty good. I don't know why it just started to rain, but I'm looking pretty good. One thing that I vividly remember is that I needed a lot of wood for the base, and I had to keep going back to get some more wood. So I figured to not have that issue this time, my next project would be getting a lot of wood. I made a separate chest so that I could keep all of the building materials, mostly the wood, separate from all of the other stuff that I collected. I forgot that I also somehow needed to get some food, so before I started my wood chopping adventure, I decided to chop some fish. That's probably not a thing you can say. I decided to kill some fish and get some food. I completely forgot there was a village super close by, so as I was going around looking for birch, because the main two things we need is birch and cherry wood. So as I found these birch trees, I also found the village that came with it. And lucky me, the village had some hay bales, so I can also use those to make some bread and have some extra food for this adventure. Other than that, the village didn't really have anything interesting, so it was time to start chopping some wood. I quickly got a pretty good amount of birch logs, so after placing them in our materials chest, it was time to now get some cherry wood and quickly make another axe because the other one did a lot of work. And chop, chop, chop. It's time to chop all of those cherry trees down. Luckily, the cherry trees give a lot of saplings, so I decided to place every cherry tree right back where I got it from. As you can see, I already gathered quite the amount of wood, but I don't think it's enough yet, so let's go get some more. I'm not gonna lie, chopping trees for this long gets kinda boring, but I just know that I will be really happy that I did it once we get to building the house. Which we're gonna do now, but first I needed to flatten the area a little bit to make sure our little house fits. I started off with some pillars to have the foundation of the house ready to go so that building the entire house would be a little bit easier if we had that outline going. I had to do a little bit more terraforming to make sure that the house fit nicely, but after that the frame was done and ready to go. I mostly started out with the exterior, but I have to admit that I built the house in a very weird order because I just started with what I remembered from the old house, and then in between I would look at footage to make sure that the house was at least similar enough to pass as sort of the same house. I focused on the front part of the house first, and even though I did pretty good with the wood gathering, I quickly realized that I also had to get some glass for the windows. So off on another adventure we go. And I nearly died. Close call, but that isn't gonna stop me from getting some sand. And that was so worth it because what is a house without windows, am I right? And I put the roof in place, which is honestly quite boring, so I won't bore you with that. There's one thing I do have to say though. Every time I look at this combination of cherry planks and birch planks, all I can think about is vanilla and strawberry ice cream. Is it just me? It seems that I've built the roof just in time because it literally just started raining. So now I can build these walls in peace. Sidetrack Andy here to report that I just started to randomly work on the floor, which we also need. It's just not what I was working on at the time, but we need it, so good job. I marked out where the kitchen was gonna go by remembering the window placements, and I thought that was actually a pretty smart strategy. A little in between splash into the deep waters. I mean, it's not very deep, but it's waters. Because we need some clay for the bricks, for the, what is it called? Fireplace, there we go. For the kitchen cabinets, we need some beehives. So it was time to place some campfires under beehives, put a little, that's not on top, a little carpet on top so that I could safely get myself that sweet honeycomb, which we'll also need for candles for the interior later, by the way. So it's good to have some around. And you know, my motto, when in doubt, place leaves. Looking pretty good. I got started on the fireplace, which is honestly a little bit of a tricky one because the placements and the design that I made is pretty weird. Plus, I need a ton of bricks. While getting bothered by a super annoying spider, it was time to put that IKEA kitchen in. Hey, you know, we didn't get that honeycomb for nothing. Gorgeous. At this point, I'm truly losing my mind a little bit because I'm very unsure about what I'm doing, and I'm doing everything very randomly, and I'm doing just little bits here, little bits there. But I do think it's coming together, so I think all will be fine in the end. To not fully lose my mind, I decided to take a little break from the house building and work on our little mining station instead. Honestly, no clue what I'm doing with this one. Don't ask me. I just work here, okay? I think the problem with me recreating this tiny little mining station build is that this was such a winged project with no vision at all that trying to recreate it is kind of weird. So I ended up more winging this one too, and it looks quite different, but I think it's still cute. And we're back with some fresh house building energy to work on our little living room. So simple, but perfect for in a little area like this. And we of course can't forget about our little friend in the corner. Next up on the to-do list of the big old rebuilding project is the chest room. So this is one of the last things we did in the Let's Play. And even though I'm not fully done with the rebuilding yet, that's what we're going to do now because it is nice to have a place to store all the mess that I gather so far. I started by mining out the area for the chest room, and while doing that, I also placed some blocks already just to give myself an idea of where everything in the chest room was going to go and how big it had to be. I definitely made some mistakes along building this chest room. One was that I eventually realized that the chest room I made was like half the size of the initial chest room, so I had to break some stuff and do some rebuilding, but it all got there in the end. The chest room is not exactly the same. The floor is a little bit different. I only noticed that after. I kind of thought that I did just planks, but when I looked back at the old chest room later, I realized that I did a little bit more, but it's fine because I think the planks work too. I did a little bit of changing with the lanterns, with the leaves. The roof is a little bit different because I thought it was too flat in the old chest room. So overall, it's the same chest room, but just, let's call it the chest room 2.0. It's just a little upgraded version. Back to the first floor we go, because there is one thing that I've been dreading doing very much. You might notice that there's something missing, and that's because I still haven't built the loft yet. I haven't built the bedroom loft that I used to have, because honestly, it sounds like a pain to recreate, but I'm gonna try my best. I truly had no idea where to start, so I just started off by placing the birch planks that were used for the wall and a little bit of the floor as well, and putting in the original windows because I feel like as soon as I have the windows in the same place as I had them originally, it suddenly becomes easier to build everything around it because I just have that reference point, if that makes any sense. So that definitely helps. I placed down the first bed to kind of see how big the loft area had to be for it to fit the two beds and to fit the other stuff that I want to put in there, really. And the fences that I used to create a sort of this loft-like illusion, I think it works really well on the slabs because then it's truly hanging a little bit in there, and I think that works really well for a loft. I decided to make the bottom of the loft a little bit different too, like kind of the ceiling of the kitchen, just to add a little bit of extra depth. A little bit of decorating, and then I think the loft is good to go for now. I also added some extra flowers around the house just to make our little cozy settlement pop out a little bit more, and I think it works really well together. It's definitely different shades of pink, but it works. And this is the final result of rebuilding the house. I'm saying final, but I am sure that we'll be adding more things along the way, more details that I missed on now, and just some extras to make everything a little bit better. Thank you very much for watching the rebuild. Thank you for sticking by me all this time, even though I haven't uploaded in forever due to losing the save file. I hope this is a sort of good solution. I hope you guys don't hate me for this. I didn't include everything in the video, but I will post a link down below of the full footage if you want to see everything that was done to rebuild, just so I can also show to you guys that it's legit and this was not secretly done in a phony way. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Bye bye.